welcome back to the trail. Oh man alive. I've come, as you've seen, to the Lake District, and as is absolutely normal, it rains for me. And the rain's not the issue, it's these horrendous gusts of wind absolutely bowling me off my feet. If I was doing any kind of elevation, I'd be back in that car and on my way home, but I'm not today. We're just walking around the Haweswater. It's going to be about 15 miles from Bampton Grange down to the river, all the way around and back up. So because we're at low level, I'm going to press on. The rain's coming and going, but the wind is howling. It's absolutely horrendous. Most of this video is probably going to end up being dubbed over with a music track and narration, but if that's the case, enjoy. I just wipe your face. There's going to be a lot of wiping going on. So we're just road walking, checking there's no cars. I've got to be careful because I can't hear the traffic behind me. Road walk down to the Haweswater, and then we'll start the circular route. Here we go again. You can see behind me. It's horrendous, and I did consider going home, but no, we're going to persevere. It's safe to do so, and that's what we're going to do. So I've got a brew, I've got sandwiches, I've got snacks. Adventure awaits. Huzzah! This is my first actual view of the water itself, the lake, and you can see how choppy it is. Maybe I'm assuming we'll get better views as we go along. Obviously we've got the great Lake District views already, and there are 16 lakes in the Lake District, but only one of them is actually a lake. The rest are just bodies of water. Bassonthwaite is the only technical lake, so this isn't classed as a lake per se, but we're going to walk around it. We're doing a counter-clockwise route. We've had to climb up because of Burbank settlement. That's why we've not even been near the water's edge yet. Water! So we're going to follow this southwest right down to the bottom, and then all the way back up along its southern shore. Yeah, even though the wind is howling and it's spraying a bit of rain, nothing too serious yet, it's still very warm. It's about 12 degrees. I didn't specifically check the weather report for Roskill, which was my mistake. Everywhere else it gave just cloudy weather, no rain. So I'm quite surprised that as I came up to Shap on the motorway, the torrents of rain were just falling. So I'm hoping that the wind is kicking it out for us. Apart from that, happy to have carried on. I'll see how I feel later on though. It's mad how, as the wind flies across the surface of the water, it's just smashing into that wall there, that defence wall. I don't know what that is. Is it a dam? I don't know. I couldn't get down there from my side. Yeah, you can just see it flying over the top. Brilliant. It's looking a bit brighter, but going to the weather report, it's not going to stop completely till about 4 o'clock tonight, and I plan to be long gone by then. And the path itself, if you fancy doing the walk, things like this for now. We'll see if that is the norm all the way around, because on the Haweswater way, which is a bit bigger and an official route, obviously you expect it. I don't think there's going to be a cafe waiting for me at the other end. We are getting some fantastic views, but you can hear that wind howling, the trees are moving. Remember, I've always pointed out that if you're a vlogger and you want to do this kind of talking to the camera while you're on the trail, you're always going to need, in this kind of weather, like a little mini boom mic. I said before in previous videos, they're only cheap. That one's Rode, I think. Rode, R-O-D-E, and it's compatible with Osmo and the GoPro, but it comes with the muffler. I know it's not doing a perfect job, but it's doing a much better job than if I didn't have the microphone on. There you can see the map. Oh, I'm quite looking forward to that viewpoint. Rigs! The rig. So we're heading that way. And you can tell we're only 3 miles in, I think. Yeah, 3.1 miles. And that's from the car at Bampton Grange. Bampton Common, we've got all this to do. All the way back up. And we're over here somewhere off map. No great rush, another mile, we'll have a break. Breaks are going to be every 4 miles, because I'm expecting it to be 16 by the time we finished. So ready for a brew and a snack, I think. Saw 2 people before, 2 dog walkers, older ladies. Didn't expect to see anyone, to be fair, so always a bonus sometimes. Sometimes a bonus, not always a bonus. Enjoying it so far though. And you can see the falls start way up there on the ridge. And carrying on down there to the bridge we just crossed, and then into there. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Those waterfalls. Beautiful, man. We're carrying on. The weather keeps coming in sort of squalls. At one point you'll be warm and taking a layer off, taking the hat off. Next, a squall, the wind and rain will just hit you. I can live with that. Ugh. Well, as beautiful as that is, it had completely eroded the path and it made crossing hairy, very hairy. I'm hoping that's not going to be the pattern all the way around. I said before, Solomon boots and boots in general don't do well on wet rocks, and I have before now put my foot down on something I thought was solid and then slipped and fell flat on my backside, and there it would have been quite painful and I would have been going down towards the reservoir. I had considered going barefoot just because I know my feet would have more grip than my boots would, and it would keep reasonably dry. I can testify now that the Solomon elements are not waterproof. Not that I ever believed they were, but in case you're wondering, just because it says Gore-Tex does not make them waterproof. And in the past, before people comment, I've used waterproofing sprays. I've used Scotch-Brite, Scotch Guard, what's the other one? Nick Wax, the major brands I've used, and they do nothing. So just accept the fact you got wet boots. Though, coming up, I've noticed Solomon do a snow boot, which is 100% waterproof, obviously for snow. I'm thinking that might be an option for when, like on St Oswald's Way, we knew it was going to be pouring down. So that might be a tool to put in the toolbox. Always about Solomons. Love Solomons. Not sponsored by Solomon, but I do love them. When you get a good product, I do like to stick with it. That's a proper blowdown. Completely took the wall out there. Now something did just occur to me. Earlier on, I was filming a stone plaque, and when I knelt down, I felt a thud through the ground. I didn't think anything of it because I thought, well, I didn't hear anything. But now looking at that tree blowing down, and the break in the middle looking very fresh, doesn't look weathered. I'm kind of wondering, there's a lot of blowdowns here already. I think I'm going to get a jog on. Get a respite for a minute there, but as you can tell, the weather report gave it about 40-mile-an-hour winds. Still got a long way to go, no chance of stopping. I can see some good stuff on the other side, the dam there, and the hotel. You can see we've just got this bleak, choppy walk to do. First bit of shelter I find, I'll stop, but so far nothing. Oh, exhausted. For exactly 5 miles walked, which isn't really that good a progress. Let me just check what Gary has to say. Yeah, moving average is down to 2.8. We're at well to not. Pushing on, pushing on. Loving it though, I'm loving it. Really glad that I carried on coming, because the rain has stopped and everything's dry now. There's wind scoured. Beautiful. Managed to find a sort of alcove just in the stone. You can see the path carries on. So I'm going to take it because I might not get another chance. Get some kind of brew going. Brownie today, McDonald's brownie. More 3-in-1s. The old flask going. Look at that view though, beautiful view. At least I've got a little table. I really did need this. Absolutely howling. Not unbearable. Sugary drink. At this point usually somebody shows up. But I did stop before to answer an Instagram message from someone trying to discredit the Bible. It was quite funny. There was a photograph of myself on my Instagram page. You say my usual back on the trail. And look at that. McDonald's brownies, they've upped the game. Yeah, upped the game. And he basically said, oh look, it says that God made man in his own image, therefore God must be a man. But what he failed to realise was he just commented on a photograph which was a photograph of me, which bore my image, my likeness. So my reply back was straightforward. That's a photograph of me that bears my image, but I am not a photograph. Well, think about that. Make this up. What? So I'm going to be honest with you, that is the best news I've had all day. Originally my route is to walk along the water's edge, but as the sign says the footpath is now closed, and right enough of waterfalls. And so we're going to road walk it all the way back, 6 miles, not bothered in the slightest. But you could see what would have been walking that way along the water's edge is probably, I would suspect, it's just completely eroded and has gone. So bear that in mind if you're thinking of walking this way. The wind has not given up whatsoever. I just want something like this culvert here, hollow culvert, alcove, whatever, to stop, fuel up before pressing on. Well, that's the best we're going to get, I think. Am I getting wet? Yeah. Backside. That's the best we're getting. Relentless, that wind. Relentless. Oh man. As you can see, it's just not for giving up. Nope. Always a problem looking for a shell. Oh yeah. The ham and cheese bagel. Now we have a car coming. Now 2 cars coming. Right, packing up. Time to hit the trail. Ended up having both sandwiches. Delightful. Yeah, 6 miles on the road. Back to Bampton Grange. Part of that's going to be in the dark, methinks. Let's boogie woogie. Wind is not giving up. You can see down there the original footpath. You can see a big blowdown. Hope you can hear me. And you can see why. You can see why it's been closed. You may have noticed that the weather has taken a turn for the worse. That wind is absolutely ripping through here and it's brought the rain with it. Now I have no idea how you could walk the, let's call it the southernmost part of the river, the lake, Haweswater, along that path. I wouldn't even bother, get on the road, walk the road. There's almost no path down there, it looks rather dangerous. None whatsoever. Getting gloomy. Just in a walker coming back, he must be at the hotel. Still got a few miles left. Definitely going to be in the dark, I bet. I've had some Kyle juice. Let's go! So the poor guy, he gets a plaque for a footpath that's now blocked and nobody uses. Bill Foster, who was the Director of Conservation for Northwest Water, died in November 1994. It's just off the road here. Again, I keep coming across the signs that say this footpath has been closed. It's a bit disappointing. On we go. So we say goodbye to the Haweswater. This marks the end. Now we're on the road for 2 miles back to Bampton Grange, back to the car. It's just gone 4 o'clock. It's absolutely grim. Excuse me. But yeah, it's got to be done. Got the last couple of miles to do. It's been a good day though, but we'll debrief back at the car. Another one off the list. I can actually hear myself think now. Wind's died down as predicted. So we've got 1.5 miles left to the car. Left the water behind. 2 elderly women in a car pulled up to ask me where the lake was. Can't miss it really. They just carried on a bit further, so pointed them in the right direction. Thought they were looking for the hotel at first. Well, yeah, not really read much this week. We've been super-duper busy. Work and stuff and editing. It took me all week to edit the last video because we walked on Sunday. So we're going to be out again tomorrow. We're going to do the other half of that Ilkley walk as I was mentioning last week. Car coming. What else? Wife's still in Gran Canaria, so tomorrow we've got all peace and quiet until next week when she comes back. So we'll be out again tomorrow, and then Sunday, day of rest. Not going to do anything. Oh, back at the spooky car. Yep, here we are back at the car. So, it was a fantastic day, got to admit. Even with the wind, even with the weather, I'm not really that bothered. It kept reasonably dry. I'm a bit damp, but I'd never say it was pouring down. It just sprayed. The first 10 miles, that was all great classic Lake District footpath work. Fantastic. Obviously it would have been better if the sun had been shining and hadn't been any wind, but so be it. It always makes for an interesting adventure. The only slight disappointment was at that point, which was Mardale Beck, where the car park was. We knew it was going to be all tarmac. That path seems to have long gone. I don't know how long it's been closed off for, but it looks like it's been closed off for quite a while. Whether it comes back or not, I don't know. So if you ever consider walking the circular route of the Haweswater, be prepared for, I think, about 4 miles of tarmac to the dam from Mardale Beck, and then 2 to, well, depending where you park, I guess, but I've had 2 to walk back to Bampton Grange, where I've parked the car, and here we are. Met a nice older guy as he was finishing walking his dog just here at my car. He invited me to the community pub, which is tempting, but no, I want to get home. But what a nice guy, what a nice chap. So I'm going to just set off home. It's about 5 o'clock. I'll put Gary's stats up. Gary's stats here. Bing. There's the mileage. And yeah, did take a while. We had a couple of breaks, and my filming, as always, slows me down. So didn't get the filming I wanted to do because of the wind. It does ruin the audio quality, but hopefully you got to enjoy some of these great views. So the plan is to be out tomorrow, God willing. That second part of Ilkley, north of Ilkley, onto the moorland. We've got a much better weather report for tomorrow, so God willing, we'll have a good day tomorrow as well. And then Sunday is going to be a thorough day of rest and recuperate. So that is the plan. But as we know, if God has different plans, he wins. So there we go, guys. I've got an hour and a bit drive home. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to show you some driving footage, I bet. And if not, either way, I will see you next time back on the trail.